for jumping on this webinar. Oh, he's saying if you leave the Facebook chat and set up. No, 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 no. You guys can leave that Facebook chat. It was literally just for this this webinar, just to let you guys all know at once. So everybody, feel free to leave the Facebook chat. No worries. So guys, I'm excited about this webinar because Peter Dudek is a good friend of mine. I've known him for a couple of years, and I've had the pleasure of working with him, doing some consulting for the past 6 months or so.
Yeah, about that.
Working closely together, and Peter may look like a young guy, but he is one of the original gangsters of internet marketing. And so as I started to work with Peter closely, he has so many talents in this industry. He's been in it so long, and he told me a little bit about some of the product creation. So to kind of give you a little more history of that, I walked into Peter's office, and he's got these bottles everywhere, and I'm like, what is all this stuff, He tells me that he creates his own products. So you guys may know, my wife and I, we had our own Amazon store for a long time, and we were drop shipping. And for those of you guys that don't know what drop shipping is, you're basically buying product from a supplier and then selling it at a premium so you can make the difference. That's all it was. And we were doing that on Amazon. I know a couple of people on here did that with us. It was a fun business, but one thing is that you're always at the mercy of Amazon, or you're at the mercy of the supplier. If you're white labeling things from China, you're at the mercy of their standards, their shipping times, all of that stuff. So when Peter told me about what he was doing, I kind of wish that I had been able to do this back then. Long story short, with Amazon, we had some success, but Amazon was shutting us down at least once a month or once every 2 months. And another thing about Amazon, some of you guys that know about Amazon, is once you start selling your product and you start doing really well, they're going to go right behind you and cut a deal with that manufacturer. And that's just what they do. It's their business, Yeah. So what's really cool about what Peter's going to show us is just the opportunity to make things on your own and just not be beholden to anyone else. So I'll let Peter go back more into his background and his story, but I mean, Peter's a rock star in this industry. He's done millions of dollars in sales, so if there's anybody that you guys should listen to about it, it's Peter. So with that, guys, I introduce to you guys Peter Dudek. If you have questions, put them in the chat. I'm going to keep track of those questions, and if we have time at the end, Peter, do you mind answering some questions?
Oh, not at all.
Okay, and yeah, we will try not to go too long, guys. Yeah. So with that, I'll let you take over, Peter. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Kenny. All right, guys. The title of this webinar is a product creation workshop, and I've got some notes here. I just want to let everybody know up front. I'm not a teacher. I'm not a guru. I never had planned on doing any teaching, but Kenny convinced me to do this webinar. I was just going to use a sales page, but Kenny said it'd be a good idea to do a webinar. So I'm basically a very shy person, so I apologize up front for being nervous. So just please bear with me. And this is my very first webinar ever. So also, Kenny asked me if I wouldn't mind teaching something of value on the webinar without giving away the farm, of course, but teaching something of value so that this time wouldn't be wasted. And I know I've been on a lot of webinars, and I hate it when it's just all pure pitch. So I'm not going to just do the pitch at the end thing for the whole time. I do actually have some stuff of value that I want to share with you tonight. And then, of course, there is an offer at the end, which hopefully you'll get to stay for that part too. So what I'm going to do is to help as far as teaching something, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to do like a director's cut of my presentation. So I'll be giving my presentation, and at the same time, I'm going to give some comments for those of you who might be new to internet marketing. I don't know, the makeup of everybody in the audience. I know there's some experts here and some people probably that are intermediate. There might be some beginners. So I'm going to do a director's cut. There might be some stuff that's new to you. There might be some stuff that's old hat. but it's good to review anyway. I find that a lot of times when I review old marketing stuff that I already know, I think, oh yeah, I should be using that, and I'm not using that in my latest project. So hopefully you'll get something out of this. So the first thing is the goal of this webinar. I have two goals. My first goal is to convince you that I'm qualified to teach this subject matter to you. And then the second goal is to attract people who like my style, who like what I'm teaching, the subject matter, to participate in the workshop. So all that being said, let's get going. So for those of you that are new or intermediate, or even if you're old hat, you might want to take some notes on some of the stuff that I'm going to tell you about in my director's cut. I'm going to be talking about some persuasion strategies and tactics, specifically pattern interrupts, time compression, some open loops, and then of course I want to also give you some information that you could use to make money creating your own product. So that being said, I'm going to go back to the very first slide and talk about the subtitle here. The subtitle, How a Ballet Dancer Turned Organic Farmer Went from 0 to over 9 million in e-commerce without Amazon. Now I got this as a suggestion from one of my mentors, Matt Trainer, and he saw my sales page, my original sales page, my first draft of it, and he said, hey dude, you forgot to put in a pattern interrupt. And I'm like, duh. So I owe Matt Trainer a big thank you for that. But anyway, this is a pattern interrupt, and you don't often hear the phrase ballet dancer associated with internet marketing. In fact, I've never heard anybody mention that before. But that's to get people to arouse curiosity. And then I'm also using an open loop here with the ellipses at the end after Amazon, and then the phrase without Amazon is an open loop. So later on in the presentation, I'm going to show you how I did all of this e-commerce business without even using Amazon. So those are some things that you can use it on your own marketing. Now, who do we buy from? Who do we give our money to? And we give money to people who we know, like, and trust, right? This is something we all know from studying our Marketing 101 stuff. And one of the things that one of the groups of people that teaches this really well is the pickup artists. The Game by Neil Strauss, that book where these guys studied female psychology, and they learn everything they can learn about persuasion, and their entire goal is to pick up girls in bars or wherever. And they've learned a lot of things about persuasion, and I know a lot of marketers who actually study game so that they can use it in their marketing. And I've actually done that too. So using some game strategies, you can compress time. And if you compress time, then you can get people to have a feeling like they actually know you better. And if they get to know you through compressing time and what you're presenting in your marketing, then they can get to like you, and then they can get to trust you in a shorter time. And then as far as experts, I learned about this from Jordan Belfort. I took his course on straight line persuasion. In fact, I took his advanced course where he actually certified people to teach the straight line persuasion course. And one of the things that he mentions in his courses is that we like to buy from experts. That's who we buy from. If there's two salesmen in an auto dealership where we go, and one's a brand new rookie, and he's just learning about selling, and he's learning about the car line. And then there's another guy who's been there for 25 years, and he knows every single thing about every car in there, and he's a car expert. Most of us would rather buy from the car expert. And that goes with anything. If we're going to be looking to make a purchase, we like to get advice from an expert in the field. So that's who we like to buy from, is an expert that we know, like, and trust, or that we feel like we can get to know them quickly and like them and trust them. And then the next thing is we like to buy from people who we know they can help us because they already did help us. And this is something I learned from one of my other mentors, Frank Kern. And he often says, just prove to people that you can help them by actually helping them. What a concept. And that's one of the things that he teaches over and over again. And then then open loops are a nice thing to use in your persuasion, in your copy, in your marketing, because that helps keep people engaged and interested in your content. And that's like I've got the open loop right now wondering how, you're probably wondering, well, how did I do this without Amazon? So let's get to the ballet part of it. Okay, so at this part, I'm going to be doing a little bit of time compression. Okay, so I'm going to tell you my story and how I came to be, because nobody knows who I am. I'm a nobody, right? I've been in the background making money quietly, and I've met some of you, I'm sure, at events and whatnot, but I've never been a teacher before. And so I just am going to use a little bit of time compression to tell you my story in a as quick as I can, and so that you can get to know me a little bit. So yeah, that is me back in the day, probably 30 years ago. I don't know, maybe longer, probably 35 years ago when that picture was taken. And I used to be a ballet dancer. I started dancing when I was 22 years old, very late for a ballet dancer to get started, but I had a knack for it. And I was not ever interested in ballet before that. The reason I started ballet is because I went to college and took a class. I had no idea what I wanted to do when I grew up. And I think that's probably true of a lot of us entrepreneurs, right? We still don't know what we want to do when we grow up. We're always serial entrepreneurs looking for a new project. So I didn't know I was an entrepreneur yet. I just thought I was a confused college student that didn't know what to major in. So I went to this life planning and decision-making class, and our very first assignment was go out today and do something that's the complete opposite of you. And so I thought, well, I don't know what that could be. So I was talking to a person, one of my roommates, who was actually a dance major, and he knew that I was very flexible because I like to stretch out and be in shape. And so I was actually very flexible, and I could jump really high. And he said, you know what, you'd be really good at ballet. I said, no, you got to be kidding me. He goes, no, you really would. He goes, you can jump and you're limber. He said, you should take a beginning ballet class as your opposite thing. Because he knew I hated to go to social dances. He knew I was very shy. He knew that ballet would be like the opposite of anything that I would ever do by choice, So I felt real brave and adventurous, a young guy in college, and I thought, okay, I'll go for it. So I went and signed up for a beginning ballet class, and I just fell in love with it instantly. The first day of class, I just thought, this is fun. So I had a lot of fun doing it. And then I also had an ulterior motive too. I noticed that there were a lot of really cute, hot chicks that were ballet dancers, and they were spending a lot of time in ballet studios, and I thought, this is a good way to get to know some really hot chicks. So, and there was not a lot of competition for their attention. So that was another motivation too. And so that's a little bit about the ballet. But after a while, I ended up in Seattle dancing there, and I had this overwhelming desire to start a family, to get married and start a family. And then I found out that ballet dancers don't make hardly any money, less than a teacher. And so I figured that I needed to do a career change. I wasn't going to ever be able to get married and have a family as a ballet dancer, so I quit dancing. I moved back to California, and my dad, who was a postmaster, got me started as a mailman. So I became a mailman. And I'm going to open up another loop. When I was a mailman, I had something kind of fall into my lap that really helped me later on, and I'll tell you about that in a second. But during the time that I was a mailman, I was the mailman for 6 years, I got married. And so I found a beautiful, beautiful woman to marry me, and she's still my wife to this day. We're coming up on 30 years, and we have 6 children, and she's the love of my life. So, but when I got married and we started to have a family, I realized that being a mailman was also kind of a dead-end job, and I wouldn't be able to make very much money as a mailman. And so I started looking around for other things. Well, it turns out that I was a really fast mailman, so I ended up finishing my route really quick. And there's, when you're a mailman, you come up on mailboxes that look like this a lot of times, and they're full of junk mail, and the people have moved out, and the junk mail is supposed to go in the garbage. Well, after I finished my route, and I wasn't supposed to be back in the office for 2 hours, sometimes I just park under a tree, crack open some of these junk mail items that were going in the garbage, and I'd study the marketing. I was just reading sales letters all day, every day, or for 2 hours every day. So I became very, very interested in the words that they were using and the persuasion strategies and tactics that they were using in this junk mail, because I knew they had to be making money because it cost a lot of money to do the mailings. So after a while of doing that and being in the post office and being married and having kids coming in, coming into the family, I decided, you know what, I need to get into something that's going to be more lucrative. So I studied computer programming. I learned Visual Basic, and I started doing computer programming for clients. And I was making a lot more money doing that, and it was a lot more interesting work. And I didn't have to be out in the elements. I didn't have dogs chasing me and everything. So it was, I liked it a lot. Then after a few years, I started becoming disenchanted with the computer programming, because it seemed like every 6 months, the platform completely changed, and I had to almost start from scratch and learn a whole new system all over again, and I just was getting tired of that. And then my wife and I were sitting watching TV one day, and we saw this TV show about community-supported agriculture and farming, and I thought, you know what? Once you learn how to grow broccoli, there's no such thing as broccoli 2.0, and we decided that we'd start a farm and raise our kids on a farm. We thought it would be a great idea to raise our kids in a healthy, wholesome environment, teach them the value of work. And so long story short, we decided to become organic farmers. We bought a farm, and off we went, and we were doing great with that. And after a while, we weren't making as much money as we needed. So I decided to supplement my income by taking on some webmastering projects for a guy that needed a webmaster. So I was making websites for this guy. He was making 50 grand a month doing affiliate marketing, and I was very impressed with that. So he needed some websites built. So I was building websites for this guy who was an affiliate. Now, after about 3 years on the farm, we became homeless. It turned out that the people that we were buying the farm from and the real estate agent, they had been in cahoots, and they had written a contract. We were doing a lease purchase, and they had written a contract that was impossible to fulfill. And so they basically took our entire life savings, took our farm, and we ended up homeless. So here I am with a wife, 4 farm dogs, 5 children at the time, a bunch of farm cats, and no place to live. So we ended up at the mercy of some really very nice people at a church that kind of took us in and helped us get going again. But it was a really rough time. And then during that time, when we first were getting some help from the church, that we were in this little condo, a 3-bedroom condo with all these dogs and kids, our daughter got head lice. And so we went through this whole head lice problem. So this was a really, really bad time for us. So I was looking for a way to make money, and I remembered the guy that I was doing building websites for. He was doing affiliate marketing, and I had just gone through this whole head lice experience. So I thought, why don't I make an affiliate site? Maybe I can find a head lice product that I can sell. So I started off. I made my very first website in December of 2004. And we were destitute. I was literally looking in the couch for quarters for milk. I mean, not even figuratively. We were literally doing that. So, but I had like 20 bucks in a separate checking account, and I used that money to set up an AdWords account. Set up the account, made the page, ran some ads, and got 0 sales. Well, the day I launched that site and my ads was December 26, 2004, and I didn't realize at the time that nobody was going to be buying on that day. So I shut off the ads because I used up all the money and just didn't think anything about it, and went about my business trying to find other work for the next few months. And then in April of 2005, I got an email, and I always read all these marketing emails so I can learn from them, copy. And this one email said, "Congratulations, you made a sale." And I'm like, I made a sale? What kind of scam is this? So I opened up the email, and then I recognized the name of the company as the head lice product that I was an affiliate for. So I click on the link. Sure enough, I made $11 commission. I was so excited. I called my wife over. I said, "Look, hey, we just made $11 on that site I made. Somebody must have bookmarked the site, and they bought the product, and I got a commission, 11 bucks." So by this time I was doing some part-time work. We had a little bit of money, so I turned on my AdWords ads again. And the rest of that month, I ended up making about $3,500 in commissions. And then in May of 2005, I did about $10,000 in commissions, and I was 5 figures ever since then. So we were doing really, really well with affiliate marketing and had some great success. And after I built the Head Lice affiliate product website, I had some other affiliate products I was doing pretty well with, some diet stuff and whatnot. We were doing really well. But then, Treachery, all of a sudden, my commissions started disappearing. My ad spend was constant, and I ended up in a situation where I knew somebody was stealing either my traffic or my sales, or something really bad was going on. I tried really hard to figure out what was going on, but I couldn't decipher how my sales were being stolen. So I had a bright idea, and my bright idea was, well, heck, why don't I try creating my own product? And this is I'm going to close the loop here. This is where the organic farming came in. I had a lot of experience in organic farming of how to kill bugs. And so I thought, what if I made my own product and I sold my own product instead of an affiliate product for someone else? So I created a head lice product, and I put it online, and I had way more success with my own product than I did as an affiliate, as you can imagine. My affiliate commission was only 20%. And I found out that when you are working with certain kinds of products, there's huge profit margins if you are creating the product yourself. Instead of a 20% commission, I was making a lot more as the product creator and seller. And just to give you some example, give you an example, here's a example profit margin of one of my typical products. It cost me about $4 to make it. Retail price, typical, $29.95. I have products that are $39.95 and some that are $14.95. So it just kind of depends on the product and the niche and what the market will bear. But this is a pretty good average. And so the profit on that is $25.95. The profit margin is 86%. That's gross profit margin. So of course you got to do marketing too. But that's pretty nice profit margin. It's a lot better than as an affiliate making a 20% commission. So what I discovered was that there's a lot of money in essential oils. And when you first hear about essential oils, a lot of people think, oh, it's aromatherapy. Well, yeah, aromatherapy is part of it, but I don't even do any aromatherapy at all. I use essential oils for their properties. They actually do a lot of good stuff. So I'm going to check in real quick with can everybody still hear me okay? I don't want to get rambling and make sure. I want to make sure you're all still with me. You guys still hear me?
Oh, it's smooth. We can hear you fine.
Okay, cool. I think that's why everybody that does webinars is constantly saying, put it one in the chat box if you want to find out about essential oils, you know. So, I'll just keep on going. So essential oils, like I said, they're good for aromatherapy, but I don't use them for aromatherapy. I use them for their physical properties. They actually do a lot of really good things. And in my case, with this with my head lice product, essential oils actually kill insects, and certain ones. And you can actually combine certain oils together in a recipe that it'll do an even better job of killing bugs. And so that's what I was doing. So I wanted to talk about some things that are really in our favor, and the reason why I decided it would be a good time to do this product creation workshop. Over the years, I first got started with this, my very own product in 2006. And since then, and then having my organic farm experience, I was a little bit early with that when I was doing that. But since then, nowadays, people are really into organic food. People are really into non-GMO seeds. And these buzzwords, natural, healthy, clean, safe, green, these are things that are starting to get really, really popular appeal, and it's only growing and growing every year. A lot of people are even doing, becoming vegans or vegetarians and doing green juicing. It's a huge and growing trend that works in our favor if we're creating products that fit to these people's lifestyle and their desire for products. Also, another thing working in our favor for this product creation workshop happening now is that the public yeah, pretty soon they're going to be making New Year's resolutions, and you know, the month of January is great for people to buy products that match their goals. You know, a lot of people want to turn over a new leaf when the New Year happens. They want to lose weight, they want to stop smoking, they want to be healthy and fit, and so products that use all natural ingredients, essential oils, fit right into those desires. So it's a great time as far as timing to create new products that are based on these kinds of things. So what I want to do now is show you some stuff about how you can get some ideas. And I'm going to see if I can share my screen. There we go. So I did a search on Amazon. Can you guys see my Amazon screen? Okay, good.
Yes.
Okay, good. So this is just one search that I did. And the search I did was essential oil uses. And you're going to see here there's all these books. And here's a tip that I'm going to give you that you can use to make money. People like the idea of essential oils. They like the idea of natural products. And they like the idea of having this information. And there's all these recipes in these books. But what I found is most people are not interested or willing to go out and buy the oils and mix up the formulas and create their products for their own use in home. They like the information. It's kind of like with internet marketing. A lot of people like to buy products, but then they never actually do anything with them. You know, there's a lot of those kinds of people. And the same is true with almost everything. So the same is true here with essential oils. So they want the benefit, but they just never get around to actually doing the recipes. So that creates a huge opportunity for people like us who are willing to look at the recipe, get the essential oils, mix them up, create the products, and then offer the completed formula to the public to buy. So they much rather spend $29.95 on a bottle of product that they would like to create that would actually probably cost them more to create if they went out and bought all of the different ingredients separately and then mixed it together themselves. So this is a really good tip for you to use when you just look on Amazon, and then there's websites you can find with essential oil formulas. They're free to use. They're just basically almost public domain knowledge. You can just use recipes and make them yourself. So that's pretty much what I do when I'm creating products. So let me go back to that. Let me go back to my other screen. Hold on a second. Share my other presentation. Okay. So now there's hundreds and hundreds of product ideas that you can come up with just with what I've showed you, and it's not just essential oils. There's also something else. I'm going to give you a tip. I don't have it on my slides, but if you look at coconut oil is amazing, and you can create so many different products if you use coconut oil and then combine coconut oil with some of these essential oils. So literally there's hundreds if not thousands of product ideas you can come up with. And then when you think about branding is like this graphic shows, you have a vision for your brand, you have a mission statement that people can buy into and feel good about, and then you have the values of how you create your products, what kind of products you like to have, and how you're going to help the customer. Are you saying something, Kenny?
Yeah, we just see you. You gotta.
Oh, you don't see the screen? Okay, thanks.
Yeah, just wanted to let you know. There you go.
You see it now?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, so anyways, when you combine the unlimited branding ideas that you can come up with, and you're not limited to having one brand, by the way. I have lots of different brands that I use. You know, some kind of brand ideas, you may want to have more of a corporate look. You may want to have more of a laid back look. There's all different kinds of graphical looks to a brand, as well as the mission and the values and the vision too. So it's limited only by your imagination. And so I've got several different kinds of brands that I like to work with. So if you combine the branding and the different kinds of raw ingredient products that you can use to create your own product, it's just unlimited. Now I want to show you a little bit of proof. I know this isn't going to be too overwhelming, but this is just the latest spreadsheet that I have of my sales. This is showing you the sales that I've made of my products up to, this was like from, I actually started I got the data from 1/1/2006, but I actually started on June 17th of 2006, and then up to this date, this is my total sales for that period. And then I wanted to, and this isn't just one product, just the lice product. The lice product is my main product that I start off with, but I've got other products too. But I also wanted to show you this. This is really important. In my course, I'm going to teach how I bumped my average order up from, I started off like around $82 was my average order, and I bumped it up to over $140 literally overnight. So I'll be teaching how I did that in my workshop. But so that's that. Oops. Go to page level. Now, in order to actually prove to you that I've been doing this, I thought maybe it would be a good idea if I logged into my AdWords account to show you that, so you can see that I'm not just creating these graphics with Photoshop or something. So let me go back to the website. I'm going to share my browser again. Okay. Can you see the browser now? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, Kenny. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log into one of my AdWords accounts. This is my original AdWords account. I'm not using this account anymore. I haven't been using this one for about 2 years, but I'm just going to show you. Actually, this is my second AdWords account. The first AdWords account, I spent about $500,000 on advertising. That was mainly when I was doing affiliate marketing. This AdWords account is when I first got started selling my own products. And so this is just, I just wanted to show you proof that I'm not blowing smoke. This isn't created with Photoshop. So I'm logging in. This is what I spent on advertising for like during this about an 8-year period. So I spent about $2 million on AdWords when I first got started doing my own products up until about 2 years ago with this account. So that's just FYI, just a little bit of proof. Okay, let me go back to the presentation sharing. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm assuming you can see my presentation again. So getting down to my offer, I'm going to start the offer section here. So hopefully, with all of that I've showed you, you can do a little bit more research on your own, and you'll be able to create some products with huge profit margins that there's a growing demand for, especially this time of year. So especially coming up with the new year. So just with what I've showed you, I'm sure that if you were entrepreneurial, you could come up with some great stuff and make some big money. Now, we all know e-commerce is big. And just looking at Amazon, we've had a really flat and stale economy for many years now. But look at the growth of Amazon. Amazon's just been going off the charts, making all kinds of money because e-commerce. People would rather sit in their house, their car, their office, and buy something online than they would rather than go to the store to find out the store doesn't have it. Oh, and I can order it for you, and it's going to be more than you're going to spend online anyway. So people just order online now. But then, I have this question, is Amazon evil? Now, I was going to tell you a little bit about Amazon stealing your market, but Kenny already covered that. So if you didn't know that already, now you do. A lot of times, if you go to Amazon and you start selling something that you're sourcing from a third-party manufacturer, and you start having success and making some big bucks, if not Amazon, other entrepreneurs that are in Amazon, they will see what you're doing and they will rip you off, basically do the same product and they'll sell it cheaper. Then it becomes a race to the bottom. Who's going to sell it the cheapest? And it keeps on going down and down and down until there's no profit left in it for anybody. And then Amazon, of course, could come in and take over too. So Amazon may or may not be evil. I'm not going to make a judgment call on that, but there's a lot better ways to be involved with e-commerce than getting in the rat race to the cheapest price on Amazon. So which products have the best profit margins and reduce or eliminate competition? The answer is simple. I've already talked about it. Products of your very own that you can easily create. And when you invent, create, and manufacture a brand new product the world has never seen before because you invented it, you have some huge competitive advantages. Number one, the manufacturing costs can be very low. I've already showed you how, an example of what my costs were on a typical bottle of product, $4. Then the perceived value can be very high because of what's being sold in stores. People see prices on bottles of stuff in stores and online and whatnot, specialty products that are perceived to be all natural, healthy stuff, with really good, expensive essential oils. People love that stuff. And so the perceived value is very high. In fact, I have one product that I've been working on that has an essential oil that costs $5,000 per gallon for the essential oil. And believe me, I use that in my marketing. So when people see that, holy crap, this bottle of stuff I'm getting for $29.95 has an ingredient in it that's $5,000 for 1 gallon. So perceived value is very high. Of course, you don't use a lot of it in the product because a little bit goes a long ways. It's very concentrated. But anyway, when you invent, create a new product, you can create something unique, something that no one else can sell because you own it. You own the copyright. You own everything to it. You have all of the branding. Everything's yours, and you're not selling it to anyone except for the public. So it's something that only you can deliver to the masses. That's a huge, huge advantage. So what I'm going to be offering to you is my product creation workshop. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up the curtains and show you exactly what products I have that I created that have generated over $9 million in revenues for me. I'll show you every product that I've made. I'm going to show you the niche markets that I'm in. I'm going to show you how I make the products, actual video of me making the products and how I make my labels. I'm going to show you how I make my websites, my sales videos, and my sales copy, everything. Then I'm going to do something kind of unique. I'm going to let you watch me as I create a completely brand new product from scratch. And essentially, you're going to be able to look over my shoulder where I'm going to show you how I'm going to get an idea for a product and decide on the product. I'm going to show you how I'm going to make the product and create the labeling and the branding. And then I'll show you how I make the new website and write the sales copy. It's going to be pretty comprehensive as far as showing you, behind the scenes over my shoulder as I make a brand new product. Then in my workshop, depending on which level of participation that you choose, I'm going to have 3 levels. I'll get to that in a minute, okay? There's another open loop. I'm going to give you one-on-one help to create your own product. I'll work with you one-on-one. That's, of course, at the highest level of participation. Then I will give you, in the second level, give you group coaching with hours of uncensored Q&A sessions. And those will all be done in a webinar setting similar to this. And I'll have videos that I record that I play during the webinar. But I'll be doing a lot of teaching and showing and explaining. And then after I do the teaching for that week, I'll be online for any Q&A that you guys want to do. And then the lowest level of participation will just be replays of the coaching videos. And then also, depending on the level of participation you choose, I will divulge certain black hat strategies. They're totally legal. I don't break any laws, but they're very sneaky that I use in my marketing. And so I'll definitely be showing some of that stuff. Now the workshop is going to be centered around live webinar style coaching sessions, just like what we're doing right now, except I'll be giving a lot more details about what I'm doing. Then you're going to get to be with me live for 6 sessions, 1 per week, with live Q&A sessions where you can ask me anything you want. You can ask me about your very own product if you feel comfortable sharing that with the group. We can talk about it in the group. Or if you just want to ask a general question, I'll do any Q&A that you want during those sessions. Then each session will be recorded so that you can watch them again as you need to. And then for the Q&A parts and the black hat parts, I'm going to edit those out for the people that are only participating at the lowest level, and I'll explain more about that in a second. Now, people at the highest VIP level, they're going to get one-on-one help from me, and they're going to get my private cell phone number so that you can call me anytime with any question you have. So let me give you a real quick outline. I'll go through this really quickly. Week one, I'm going to give you an overview of the product categories I use. Like I said, I don't do aromatherapy, but I do have different product categories that I like to be in, and I'll explain to you what they are and why I'm in them. I'm going to give you a detailed behind-the-curtains view of how I've actually generated the $9 million with my products, and I'll show you everything all about that. And then every week I'm going to give you a PDF with some action items that you can do, basically homework, so you can follow along with me, do a checklist, check off all of the items that I have on that week's action items, and you'll be able to follow along with me and do your own product too. So the action items for week one: study product categories and associated niche markets that go with those categories. Week two, I'm going to let you watch me pick a niche market, figure out a new product idea, source and order the components. This is really crucial because you want to get really good components for your products so that they're quality products. And also, you don't want to spend too much money. Like I said, I did find that one product that was $5,000 a bottle, but I also found it for, gosh, it was about $3,500 for a gallon. So, you can find bargains even though the source products are expensive. And you can also buy in much small. I didn't buy a gallon of the $5,000 stuff. I started off, I bought like 8 ounces of it. So you can buy smaller quantities. You don't have to, be worried that you're going to have to spend a whole bunch of money on products. I actually can start a brand new product and create a prototype of it for, around $200, and that's including the bottles and labels and everything. So anyway, so you'll watch me do this, order the components, and then I'm going to create a profit margin spreadsheet for that product. And so the action items that week, you're going to pick out your own product idea, order your components so they get going on the way to you, and create your profit margin spreadsheet. On week three, I'm going to let you watch me create the product labeling and branding for my new product. This is something I'll be doing while I'm waiting for my source ingredients to arrive to me. And then, because sometimes they don't come overnight, sometimes you have to wait a little bit for them. Action items are going to create your own label and your branding for your new product. Week four, watch me create my website and watch me set up all the money-getting e-commerce systems, which shopping cart I use, and how I get the money, the merchant account, and whatnot. So I'll show you how I do all of that. And then your action items will be to set up your website and your e-commerce systems. Now, you don't have to use the exact same systems that I use. I'll give you some suggestions. I'll show you what I'm doing, and I'll show you some other things that you could do too that might be just as good or better. Week five, watch me use the source components to actually create my new product. We'll be using bottles and funnels and ingredients and mixing, and I'll show you me making a brand new product. And so your action item for that week will be create your new product, because you should have your source ingredients by then. Week six, watch me set up my tracking system, and then also watch me set up my advertising accounts and create the initial ads for my product. Now, a lot of the stuff that I've been learning over the years, I've spent probably about $400,000 on internet marketing training. Okay, I've been in Frank Kern's Platinum Mastermind group. I've been in just about everything you can, every teacher there is out there. I've at least bought something from them. So I've spent a lot of money on marketing training. Plus, it's been something I've been fascinated with ever since I was a mailman, reading junk mail under the tree during my lunch break. So anyway, I can help you with some really good suggestions on creating ads for your product that's going to help you save some time. And then your action items for that week will be set up your advertising accounts and create your initial ads and set up your tracking system. Now, I wanted to make a note because I was sharing this with a few of my friends, and they were wondering if I was going to teach a full-blown internet marketing course, and I'm not going to do that. This is not a full-blown internet marketing course or advertising or regular marketing course. This is product creation workshop. My main focus is to help you create product that's a great asset that can bring you a lot of money. However, I will give you some advertising and marketing tips and suggestions and to help you get started. And I'm going to show you what I'm doing so you can copy some of the same strategies and tactics and wordings that I use too. Now there's a bonus week. For people who are players and VIPs, you're going to get to watch me. This will be week 7. Watch me set up one of my black hat strategies for my new product. And I'll show you everything I'm doing. And then, so then your action item would be to set up your own version of my black hat strategy if you so choose. Some people just don't like to go anywhere near anything that's kind of sneaky, and that's fine. I'm okay with that, but I like using some black hat stuff, gray hat and black hat stuff. Again, nothing illegal, nothing that's going to get me in trouble, get you in trouble, but it's just kind of sneaky. And then for the VIPs, I'm going to give a bonus of 18 months of help, continued one-on-one personal coaching to help you and your staff get your products created and ready for market, and actually help you with the marketing too. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute and why I'm willing and anxious to help you as a VIP. So if you understand the power of e-commerce, and it's huge. If you understand the unstoppable trend of people buying physical products online, if you want to learn how to create your own products in a very specific category of products that have high demand and huge profit margins, what better way to save yourself months or years of trial and error than to learn from someone with over 10 years of experience? If you want to get started in the lucrative business of creating your own e-commerce products, this workshop could save you tons of time and money. Also, depending on the level of participation you choose, you'll either get one-on-one help from me or group coaching with generous Q&A time, and I'm going to help you brainstorm your product creation and help you get it ready for market. So like I've been saying all along here, there's 3 levels of participation in the workshop, and it is a workshop. I'm going to be really encouraging you to actually take action and get something done and make some money. This isn't one of those things where you just sit by and watch. I'm going to give you action items every week so that by the end of the workshop, if you are completing the action items, you should have your own brand new product ready for marketing. So here's the 3 levels of participation. There's VIPs, and I'm limiting that to 7 spots because I want to do a really good job for my VIPs, and I don't want to become overwhelmed. And I'm giving my cell phone number and being on call essentially 24/7. So I'm only limiting that to 7 people. For players, people who are going to be on the live calls and be able to have unlimited Q&A on the live calls, and I'll stay on all night long. If you keep having questions, I'll keep answering them. So I'm limiting that to 49 spots because, again, I want to have a good experience for the players, and I don't want to become overwhelmed myself. So I'm limiting that to 49 spots. Then watchers, that's unlimited, and I'll explain more about watchers in a second. So here's the details about what VIPs get. So in addition to the live group coaching calls, you're going to get personal one-on-one help. And then with this VIP option, you're going to get personal help from me as you create and launch your own products. Now, I'm not going to do it all for you because if I did everything for you, I wouldn't need you, and I just do it myself and create my own product. But I'm going to help you. I'm going to work closely together with you and your staff, if you have a staff, as your private product creation consultant. I'm going to help you get everything done for one new product and get it ready to start making money. And you're going to get my private cell number so that you and your staff can call me anytime and ask me questions and get my advice on anything related to your product creation. And I'm going to share all of my black hat strategies and tactics with you. Now, I will require a non-disclosure agreement to be a VIP because I don't want some of the stuff that I'm doing to get out, widespread to the public, because that would just ruin their efficiency. So your cost to participate as a VIP is $9,997 plus 15% of a rev share for 18 months, starting when the product goes to market. Now, I want to explain the rev share concept. The rev share is huge, gives me a huge incentive to make you successful, because I would make a lot more money if your product was a stunning success in the market. So the rev share is to your benefit because it helps me become super engaged in helping you be successful and make as much money as possible as fast as possible. Players get the live group coaching webinars. They get to participate in a weekly group coaching workshop webinar for 6 weeks where I teach you where I teach you by showing you all of the details about what I'm doing. Then at the end of each workshop, I'll stay and answer all your questions. And also each week, I'm going to give you a list of action items to do so that you can follow along with me and create and launch your own products. And this players get one of my black hat strategy. I have more than one, okay? So, but I will give you one of them. And then, of course, a non-disclosure agreement will be required before I share that with you. And the cost to participate in this is $9.97. Watchers get to watch the edited replays of the group coaching sessions. With this option, you're going to get to see the replay videos looking over my shoulder as I create a new product line from scratch. You're going to get to see my niches, how I create the product labeling, the marketing and sales. And if you follow along and do all the action items, just even with the watchers level, you'll be able to create your own brand new product ready for marketing. Now, this option does not include any personal help or the Q&A or the black hat stuff. And the cost to have access to the watchers level is $3.97. Now, why did I make a watchers level? Here's the facts of life, and I know this from when I was with Frank Kern in the Platinum Mastermind group. He agonized over this, and in fact, he did there's a famous video of him and John Reese talking to Tony Robbins about this very issue. In fact, you can go on YouTube and look it up. But I remember Frank talking to all of the Plasterminders and agonizing over the fact that people were buying his products, but nobody was actually doing anything. But it's just a fact of life within net marketing. And I know my buddy Matt Trainer has had the same complaint. Many will purchase, few will implement. So some people purchase just for curiosity. They just want to know, you know, and they fully intend to ask for a refund once their curiosity is satisfied. And that is also a big problem for people who have products and stuff. So I decided, instead of having those kinds of people pay a big ticket price and then ask for a refund of their $1,000 later, I thought, well, I'm just going to give them a watcher option. So this will satisfy people who are just curious. They just want to know and see what's going on, but they don't have to spend the $1,000 just to see. But I'm not giving any refunds. So this is to help weed out the tire kickers. So this is why the watchers option exists. Now here's what I do not guarantee. I do not guarantee that my new product will be an instant success. Like I said, I've got lots of products. Some of them are winners, some of them are okay, and some of them are duds, okay? I can't guarantee my brand new product that I create live on the fly in front of you. I can't guarantee it's going to be an instant success, and I do not guarantee that your product, your very first product, I can't guarantee that it will be an instant success. I just can't do it. If I could guarantee success, I would be king of planet Earth. But here's what I do guarantee. I guarantee that I will show you exactly how I've made over $9 million with my own products. I guarantee I will let you watch me create a brand new product from scratch. I guarantee I will help VIPs and players come up with at least one product idea. And I guarantee I will give you action items to follow so you can create your own product. And I guarantee that you will have a much better chance at e-commerce riches if you start creating your own products than if you don't. So I guess now it's time to decide if you want to participate, which level you would like. And remember, there's limited spots available for the VIP level and the players level. So if you want one of those spots, you should grab one before they're gone. And remember, this is the one and only time I'll be doing this. Like I said at the beginning, I am not a guru. I'm not a teacher. I don't intend to be in the business of teaching. I like to do products. And I'm only doing this now because, gosh, about 4 or 5 years ago, I was on the phone with Frank Kern, and he suggested that I do this exact thing. He said, you should do that, dude. He goes, you know, nobody's teaching this, and you could teach it so good. You should totally do this. And I put it off and put it off and put it off. But I finally decided that for my own personal growth, I needed to, you know, break out of my comfort zone and do at least one time do a teaching thing. So this is the one time I'm going to do a teaching thing, and this is it. So all that being said, I'm going to turn it back over to Kenny. He's got a link, an affiliate link that he can share with you if you're interested to go ahead and check out the sales page, and that's where you can make your selection if you so choose. Okay. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Kenny, and if there's any questions you guys have, I'll be happy to answer them.
Awesome, awesome. Hey, thank you so much, Peter. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Dude, thank you so much for being a webinar guy. That was pretty good.
Thanks, man. I was really nervous, man. I was very nervous.
No, I don't. Guys, Peter is super humble. Peter is a phenomenal trainer. He does not do a lot of webinars like this where he gets on and he sells a bunch of stuff like a lot of the people out there. But what I've seen Peter do is he's really good at training and doing these workshops. We've done some training in the past, and he's phenomenal. He's very mild-tempered. You know what I mean? He's not very aggressive, so he's a great teacher. So I don't want him to be so humble that he doesn't tell you guys how awesome he really is. And so, yeah, if you guys got value out of that, I mean, just let me know in the chat, because it's very rare that you see someone that's done that much in sales. I mean, that's $9 million in sales. That's a big company, you know, and so. So I'm really glad he was able to do this. Guys, if you want to get more information, I'm going to put this site. You can go here, and if you're interested in getting more information, click the button on that page. It will take you to Peter's sales page where he really explains everything that he just went through. And if you're interested, please get with him quickly, because I know Peter. He's not going to sit around and do a ton of these. You know, this is just something he's been putting off, and he just had a passion about teaching other people. So, if you guys do have questions, please put them in the chat now, because you know, I don't want to keep everybody on here for no reason. But we did get a couple of questions, Peter. If you still have some time.
Yeah, of course.
One of the main questions was, is there a way to move up to another level in the future? So, example, from a player to a VIP, or
yes,
are they locked to a group?
As long as there's a slot open, absolutely, not a problem.
Okay, great. And then someone else asked if there is a payment plan.
What's that?
Someone else asked if there's a payment plan at all.
Oh, no, I don't have a payment plan. I'm not that sophisticated yet as far as yeah, sorry, I don't have one.
Okay, yeah, guys. I mean,
if there's a lot of interest in that, maybe I can tomorrow I can work on that.
Or guys, something that's really good that I've used in the past is PayPal. PayPal has a line of credit.
Oh yeah, they do.
So you know, you're able to get with PayPal. I mean, I applied for PayPal line of credit, and they gave me like $4,000 or something like that. So if you're someone that has a PayPal for a while, that's something that I've used as a payment plan. And then back then, they were doing something like 6 months no payments.
They still do that, as far as I know. I heard about that, gosh, about 4 months ago. They still had 6 months no payments, no interest on PayPal credit.
Excellent. And the other stuff, someone asked about the Atlas Alliance. If you can message me personally about that. But guys, thank you so much for being here. Does anybody else have any questions? I want to make sure that if you guys have questions, we get them while Peter's here live. This is recorded, and then I'm going to put it on YouTube and post it on Facebook for anybody that wants to go through it again. But does anybody else have any more questions before we close it out? It's super hard for internationals. So, yeah, what do you think about people who are international? Do you think this would be a tough thing for them to do, or you want to go a little bit into that?
Well, I have not done very much international stuff. I have shipped some of my products to Australia, and I know that there's some markets that like Australia, for example, like my headlights product, for example. There's more demand in Australia for headlights treatments than there is in the United States as far as per capita. But like I said, I have not gone into international markets, so I'm not really qualified to answer too much about international stuff. I do know that there are people out there that love American products. So if you have prominently displayed, made in the USA, all natural, all that kind of stuff, there are companies out there that help you get international. You can even go through Amazon, I think, to go international if you do the fulfillment by Amazon thing. But yeah, I haven't done any of that yet, really much of it at all. I do ship to Canada. That's pretty easy to do. But and I've done a little to Australia, but that's about it. But there's millions and millions and millions of dollars available right here in the U.S. And you can sell into the U.S. market. If you live in the international market, you'd have a better feel for your country than I do.
Awesome. One thing, Peter, for PayPal credit, do you have an option for them to be able to pay through PayPal?
I don't have PayPal yet. I will have to work on that tomorrow. I can work on that tomorrow.
Okay. So if you're interested, you want to pay through PayPal, contact me direct, and I'm sure Peter can figure something out.
Yeah, I'll get something going.
So yeah, we can do that through PayPal. We'll figure that out for you, and yeah. But thank you guys. Thank you everybody for being here.
Yeah, thank you everybody. Thanks for being patient with me.
Yeah. I don't, I don't do a ton of these because I like to, if I do a webinar like this, I want it to be somebody that I respect and someone that I know would take care of the people that I refer. Many of you guys are my friends or we do business together, so I know Peter's a guy that will take care of you. He's a guy that really cares about his reputation, his name. He's not smeared all over the internet as some guy who, puts these programs together and nobody ever hears from him again. He's really just spent his time building a solid business for his family, and now he wants to give back. So I appreciate Peter's heart, and I really wouldn't promote him if I didn't. So if you guys are interested, again, you can go to kennyjohnsonmarketing.com/product creation, and then there's a button on that page that will take you over to Peter's sales page where you can get all the information. And unless anybody else has any more questions, I think we'll wrap it up.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Kenny.
Okay. All right, guys, thank you so much. Everybody have a wonderful night, and we'll see you soon. And go get started. Work with Peter. He's awesome. Okay?
I'll take good care of you guys.
Take care.
Bye-bye.